All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Bruno Buquerque. This is my partner, Walter Curti from ELT in Brazil. And today we're going to begin talking about paper 2 from Delta Module 1. So obviously we're starting from task 1, a task that is very much focused on tests and assessing the assessment and assessing the test. So how good are you at assessing the assessment tools that you use? We're gonna find
Yeah.
out
Are you
in this task.
critical?
Yeah.
When you work, you probably work at a school, and whenever you get the midterm test and you look at the test, are you ever critical? Like, this is not a good task. Do you do that, or you just
Yeah, we
give it
do
to the
that.
students and then correct them? So it's about
Okay.
that.
And roda a vinheta and let's go.
Okay, so we're back, and Bruno, can I share?
Sure.
Okay, all yours.
All right. So as we're saying, this is module 1, task 1, paper 2. This is worth 18 marks. And again, I think this is an important reminder. We're not Delta tutors, we're Delta students. So take everything here with a huge pinch of salt, like a spoonful of salt. And if you have questions, and you definitely should check this with your course tutor whenever you have one. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
And
so
by the
this
way,
is our
this
impression.
this is not a prep course. It's
Uh,
also important that you
yeah,
know that.
yeah, it's just exploring module 1, right?
Mhm.
So this task has you analyzing a piece of an assessment tool for a specific purpose, for a specific student in a specific level. And your job here is finding positive and negative points. In this case, we can see there right above the source, make a total of 6 points, and you must include positive and negative points. Again, you can have 1 positive and 5 negatives, 1 negative and 5 negative, 1 negative point and 5 positive. You decide, right? But you have to have at least 1 in each.
Yeah,
Um,
and I would complement that, Bruno, by saying that you have to understand that the knowledge you must have about assessment regards these three things: the learner's needs, the purpose of the test, why are you applying that specific test to that specific student, and test types, right? What kind of test is this? All right. So the first thing I think we can do, Bruno, this is just my perspective, so interrupt me if you don't agree, please.
oh,
All
sure.
right.
Mhm.
We are going to focus on M, which is the student in question. M is a doctor, a medical doctor in her country, and she's in B. Let's put it in different colors, right? So we have the learner. Now we're going to have the level, upper intermediate, right?
Mhm.
Now, what's the purpose of the test?
It's a
In
diagnostic test, right?
It's a
The teacher is
diagnostic test
using the test to
Mhm.
diagnose her abilities.
in writing and knowledge of grammar
Mhm.
and lexis, which means it's diagnosing writing skills and also the systems grammar and lexis.
Mhm.
That's very important information. And then we are going to talk about all of those three
Yep.
in a combination,
Mhm.
right?
And we've got the purpose there, right? So that she can plan the writing and language components of her course.
Which means diagnostic testing again.
Mhm.
So with that in mind, right? What's the test type? What are you
Diagnostic
thinking
test.
right now? Like a diagnostic And because you have writing and grammar and lexis, it's also going to be, because then you have direct and indirect testing, but you also have discrete item tests, and you have integrative testing. And this is the case of an integrative test because it's testing more than one element. Integrative.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
nice.
Okay.
I need more study in
Well, the
assessment.
purpose, we could say that the purpose is diagnostic, right? The test type would be integrative. The test type would be integrative, and the purpose of the test would be diagnostic. Very well. Yep.
Can we look at the test?
Oh yeah, learner's needs. We cannot forget that she's a doctor. Right? This is going to be important. And now we take a look at that. This is what the student's going to have, right? So in your English class, you have been doing a project on young people and their health in your country. Now your teacher has asked you to write an essay. Write an essay using all the notes, giving the reasons for your point of view. Research shows that young people today are not as healthy as they were 20 years ago. Why is this, and can we do anything about it? Notes, write about the degree to which young people are active, the effect of diet on health, and your own idea. Write your composition for the teacher around 100, this is important, 140 to 190 words, and you have 45 minutes. Ideas for writing. Ask yourself the following questions, but we decided not to use this part, right? Oh, by the way, this task, the entire task, we created the entire task, right? And we thought this wouldn't be necessarily useful and not very common in the test, so we deleted that part. Okay. Bruno, any thoughts so far?
Yeah, I think we should get people to give this a try because I find this very a lot of fun. If you'd like to try, pause the video now and try to write down 6 points, positive and negative points regarding this test for this student, and then when you're ready, you can resume and listen to us commenting on this. Okay. All right. So I think, Walter, the first thing that strikes me as a positive here, there are two things that are very clearly positive points. Three, actually. One, it's context appropriate, right? So you're diagnosing the language level of a doctor, and the text is about medical stuff, right? So the student will feel catered for. They will feel that you listened. Yeah,
and motivated to produce.
Definitely motivated to produce. You want to assess writing, and this is a writing task, right? It's
so
very
again,
obvious, but
it is a direct test of the skill the teacher wants to assess, right? So and let's give them an example so that they have an idea of how to write these things, right? So I left an example here. So part one is about it being an integrative test. So it's an integrative test such as this. So one which judges how M uses the language. This is your first point. Now you also have to write about the application to the learner, and then you will have something like this. M has a communicative need to use English at work, so this task will generate useful evidence for the teacher, which is basically what Bruno said. Now it's important that you do not repeat this. You use it only once. So if you use this application for the learner, which is that the test has this communicative need, which is linked to the learner's work or job, you wouldn't use the same again. But you see that we didn't use the one about M will feel motivated and therefore will probably produce more in the task. And because it's a diagnostic testing, right? It enhances reliability. And also, two things that I think that are important that we have to mention, Bruno, are that you have knowledge about reliability, and Bruno will say the other one, that is
Validity.
validity. So you have to know this. You have to understand the differences between them, even though you may not use this meta language as you write. In the first mocks I took for this, I was always concerned about using meta language, using reliability and validity in every one of the points I was doing it. And it's really not necessary. But still, you have to understand those. Right? Maybe you are not gonna write the differences between content and
Construct
face
validity.
validity.
Okay.
Yes, construct validity. But you again, you could, and always it could be in the first sentence you write, or it could be in the application to the learner. All of them are valid, right? And Bruno, did you think of anything negative about this one?
No, I was so you said 45 minutes. I think this is more than enough to write a text like this one. Maybe 140 words is not enough for you to assess a B2 student.
And
But
we have to think about this, right? Grammar and lexis.
Yeah. You said at the end, write your composition for the teacher, and then I was worried that you didn't specify the genre, but it is an essay, so fine.
Yeah,
Even though essays are not very useful, it's not a very useful genre, but I mean,
common
it's
for a
useful for
doctor,
school.
maybe they read a lot of essays, right?
I don't know.
Well, I left an example here. For example, the rubric is complex and may be unfamiliar to M, and then rubric may not be clear to M, and as a result, it may prevent her from showing her abilities to the fullest. It also, which reduces reliability, right? This is just an example, but there, if we think harder, there are other negative things to be said about the test. For example, the fact that it is a direct, oh yeah, I just thought of one. As it is a direct test, it's gonna rely on subjective marking. Right? So, and then you could exploit from there, right? Like, okay, so because it uses subjective marking, it reduces the reliability of the test, or because it is the test is a common type of test, it has face validity to the student, that would be a positive one, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of things that can't be said. Let me change my camera again. It's like I'm having a problem with my camera today. I am sorry. No, it's not better. It's still as bad as it was.
It's
Let me go
still
back. Yeah,
low FPS.
Yeah.
But I think this is task one, paper two, right? So it's analyzing, it's assessing an assessment tool, right? And writing positive and negative points and their implication for students. What did you think of this task?
Well, I actually thought it was very appropriate to the student in question. I really like subjective
I'm talking
tests.
about the task for Delta.
Oh, in general,
when you took it,
about task one, You know what? When I was taking the first round of mocks, and when you're taking a prep course, you take not like complete mocks, just mocks of each part. This was like my favorite because I actually have a lot of knowledge about tests, and it's something that I really like talking about. We actually need a
Mhm.
course on that.
We do.
It's coming.
Assessment. Yeah.
But I didn't score well because I was so worried about using the meta language and about using
Mhm.
reliability, score reliability, test reliability, that kind of thing
Mhm.
in the test that,
Mhm.
I was kind of missing the point
Mhm.
of like, oh, you
Trying to
really
show
need
off
to, like,
jargon and not analyzing the task, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
what is good about this test, what is not.
Mhm.
And guess what, maybe you're not using those words and you're gonna score higher. And the
Mhm.
day that I took the test, I specifically remember that it was the first task it was the no, I did task 2, task 1, task 3.
Mhm.
And again, I took more than 40 minutes in task 2
Oh,
because
Jesus.
task 2 is the hardest in the test.
Mhm.
And then I went to task 1. I didn't have much time for that and for
Mhm.
task 3. And task 1 is 18 marks, task 3 is 40 marks. So you can guess what I
Mhm.
did, right? I didn't really think
Yeah.
all that hard about this task.
About this one.
And I am pretty sure it wasn't one of the best,
Mhm.
one of the best ones that I did. But again, I might be wrong. Right?
Mhm.
Maybe it
We don't
was the
get the
best
results, right?
because
Yeah.
because I wasn't so worried or concerned about that one.
Mhm.
Maybe I did a better job anyway.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, and mind you, we were trained for these tasks. So, and again, when you're like getting ready for the test, your mind just works for this kind of thing. You're
Mhm.
just plugged in, and you just go and you write 6 of them, and there you go, quickly, as fast as you can.
Mhm.
And you, what
Yeah.
about you?
I really like paper two.
Hmm.
I didn't do very well on paper one, especially that last task on grammar.
Oh, that's fine.
I thought it was very hard. I thought it was very difficult. But paper two is my ballpark. I like all tasks. I find them very real life like. So
As a teacher, right?
yeah, I really liked
Hmm.
all of them. But I think it's a wrap for today. And next video, we're looking at paper two, task two on
Yes.
Delta module one, right?
And don't forget, leave us a like, leave us your
Subscribe.
comment. Yeah,
Mhm.
what did you think of this task? We want to know.
Yeah, sure.
And if you haven't
It's a very
subscribed
nice one.
yet, please do it. We'll see you in
Yeah.
the next video.
See
See
you in the
ya.
next video. Bye.
Bye.